trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
A cleric says tribalism is tearing the church apart. Court reduces Towere's bill from 100 million naira to 50 million naira. From the international scene, Boeing 737 MAX crisis deepens, hitting shares. And then on business, Nigerians spend 2.4 trillion naira annually on vehicle imports. On sport, Man City offers Sterling £450,000 weekly to snub Real. The details of the news will come shortly after this timeout. Do well to stay with us. And then you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Tribalism tearing the church apart, cleric says. Pastor Ruben Chuga, immediate past president, Baptist Theological Seminary, Kaduna, has blamed tribalism for the incessant crisis rocking the church in Nigeria. Chuga spoke on the theme Crisis in Contemporary Church, a challenge for Christians in Nigeria, at a public lecture on Saturday in Lafia. Chuga urged Christians, especially church leaders, to preach unity and work hard to rid the church of such divisive tendencies. According to him, a major instigator of crisis in Christianity in Nigeria is tribalism. People always emphasize their tribe. They think first of their tribe. Leaders must change this. The church must come first, he said. We must begin that reorientation so as to drive home the fact that the Church of Christ is one and tribalism should not be allowed to tear us apart, he warned. However, Chuga asserted that once tribalism is kicked out of Christianity, the Christian brethren would easily begin to actualize the teachings of Jesus Christ in their lives and in their relationship with those around them. In another news, the Federal High Court in Abuja has varied the bail conditions granted the convener of Revolution Now protest, Omoyele Sowore, and his co-defendant, Olawale Bakari. Justice Ijoma Ojukwu granted the order in a ruling on the application for bail variation by the duo charged by treasonable felony, among others. She waived the earlier requirement that one of Sowore's sureties should deposit 50 million naira as security. She also reduced the amount attached to Bakari's bill from 50 million naira to 20 million naira. The judge had earlier ruled that one of Sowore's sureties must deposit 100 million naira in the court's bank account as security. The court on October 4th granted them bail on conditions which the applicants considered stringent and decided to approach the court for variation. Justice Ojukwu, however, refused to vary all other bail conditions. She said the decision to restrain the defendants from participating in rallies was in order to view of the nature of the case. She adjourned the case till November 6th and 7th for the commencement of trial. Away from Sowore and now on minimum wage, the Trade Union Congress side of the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council on Monday called on the federal government to pay 5 months arrear of the new minimum wage dating back to April 8, 2019, when President Muhammadu Buhari signed the new minimum wage bill into law. The government and organized labor came to an agreement on the new minimum wage on Friday, 182 days after Buhari had signed the bill. Both parties agreed on 23.2% increase for workers at grade level 7, 20% for those at grade level 8, 19% for workers at grade level 9, 16% for those at grade level 10 to 14, and 14% for workers at grade levels 15 to 17. In a statement by the acting chairman of the union, Achava Simon, and the secretary, Alade Lawal, the workers' representatives also urged the government to keep to its promise of carrying out a general review of wages of public servants in the country. And then lastly, from the local scene, police uncover explosive on INEC premises. The explosive ordnance disposal unit of the Nigeria Police Force has said the unit recently uncovered an explosive material from the premises of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria. The command said the 80 mortar bomb was evacuated to the EOD base in the state, noting that 3 IEDs were also recovered from the Boa Cement Company premises in Okpila, Edo State on October 1st, 2019. The police unit disclosed these in Lagos on Monday while receiving 2 mobile detection systems donated by the United States Department of Energy, National Nuclear Security Administration, Office of Nuclear Smuggling Detection and Deterrence. News from the international scene will be next. Please stay with us. We'll come in with the details. And welcome to the Foreign Scene on News Desk. There are cracks in Republican dam as frustration with Trump mounts. Fixtures are emerging among Republican lawmakers over U.S. President Donald Trump, who is threatened with impeachment as his troop withdrawal from Syria and abortive push to host the G7 at his own resort cause increasing dismay. Trump's self-inflicted wounds are making it harder for some Republicans to remain quiet or unwaveringly loyal during what could be an inflection point in his presidency. Democrats are readying articles of impeachment, the catalyst being Trump's July phone call to his Ukrainian counterpart, in which he urged the European ally to investigate his political rivals. No sitting Republican lawmaker has publicly expressed their intent to vote for Trump's impeachment in the House of Representatives or for Senate conviction if the process gets that far. But some have inched closer to backing the process. Senator Lindsey Graham, one of Trump's fiercest defenders in Congress, in recent days expressed openness to impeachment proceedings if new evidence of wrongdoing by Trump emerges. Again on Foreign Scene, Boeing 737 MAX crisis deepens, hitting shares. The pressure was mounting Monday on Boeing's as newly surfaced documents deepened doubts about the company's ability to return a top-selling jet to service soon and amplified calls for a leadership shakeup. Shares stumbled for the second day in a row after the Federal Aviation Administration on Friday sharply criticized Boeing for withholding key documents for months in probes following 2 crashes that killed 346 persons. The FAA rebuke added to the travails facing Boeing sovereign months after its top-selling jet was grounded, prompting Wall Street analysts to downgrade the company and raising speculation that it could be forced to temporarily halt production entirely on the jet. However, Boeing's board of directors was set to conclude a 2-day meeting later Monday ahead of the company's earnings release later this week and a congressional hearing at the end of the month. And then up next on News Desk is Business News. And when we come back, we should talk about Nigeria spending 2.4 trillion naira annually on vehicle imports. Stay with us.
Uncommon grace, and that's what's coming to Calgary. I'll see you there.
The bill on the National Automobile Policy was passed by the 8th National Assembly, but it was denied assent by President Muhammadu Buhari due to certain unclear clauses. Malami offered to revive the bill, which he said addressed concerns of policy inconsistency in the country's automotive sector. In another business story, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has said Nigeria needs to reduce fuel subsidy at a time when oil prices are low in order to bring about more productive government spending. The IMF, in its new regional economic outlook for sub-Saharan Africa, said growth in the region was projected to remain at 3.2% in 2019 and rise to 3.6% in 2020. It said subsidies and other transfers from the government averaged more than 5% of gross domestic product as of 2017 for sub-Saharan African countries with available data. The Washington-based fund said fuel subsidy tends to be poorly targeted, foster overconsumption, curtail investment and maintenance in related sectors, and crowd out more productive government spending. The federal government had on May 11, 2016 announced a new petrol price band of 135 naira to 145 naira per litre, a move that signaled the end of fuel subsidy payment to private marketers. But the government later resorted to subsidy regime following the increase in the landing cost of petrol on the back of rising crude oil prices, with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the sole importer of the product, bearing burden of the subsidy. On sport, when we come back, it shall be rape case, interestingly, about Ronaldo DNA has matched his. When we come back, we see the details. Welcome to Sport on News Desk. Juventus star Cristiano Ronaldo's DNA matched evidence collected in a rape case against him in America, according to a report from English tabloid The Sun. The five-time Ballon d'Or winner was accused by American citizen Catherine Mayorga of rape last year, which she claims took place in a hotel room in Las Vegas in 2009. The criminal case, which has since been dropped, was widely publicized, with the 34-year-old Portuguese forward protesting his innocence on social media following the accusation. Among the 100 emails sent between police and criminal prosecutors in America, Las Vegas detective Jeffrey Guyer said DNA is back and is a match, referring to the Juventus star. The Billionaire vowed last year to support Ronaldo and discredited the claims, suggesting that he is a professional. But questions are, where was this test done? Maybe it's a developing news, so we'll get to know more about that. And then also on sport, Joshua must knock out Reese, says Bradley. Timothy Bradley, a former 2-division world champion, believes Anthony Joshua must go for the knockout when he faces Andy Ruiz in a rematch on December 7th in Saudi Arabia. In the first bout back on June 1st, Joshua was dropped 4 times before the contest was waved off in the 7th round in New York City. However, Ruiz, who came in as a late replacement and a huge underdog, walked away with the IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO world titles. Joshua quickly exercised the contractual clause for an immediate rematch, and he vowed to correct his mistakes. According to Bradley, Joshua should forget about boxing it out to a decision and go for the KO win. Lastly on sport, Man City offers sterling £450,000 weekly to snub Real. Manchester City are preparing a month £450,000 a week deal for Raheem Sterling to fend off transfer interest from Real Madrid, according to reports. The informed England winger is quickly cementing his reputation as one of the world's best, following another sensational start to the season. Pep Guardiola, however, and the club are keen to reward him with a lucrative extension to his current contract, which expires in the summer of 2023. Sterling last signed a contract in November 2018 to take his wages up to around £280,000 a week, but has already confirmed his ambition to play abroad. And City are set to react by making the 24-year-old the Premier League's top earner to ensure his best years are played at the Etihad, according to the Sunday Express. Should Sterling sign the £400,000 a week contract, it would far eclipse Kevin De Bruyne's £350,000 a week deal, which is currently the highest at the club. Now that's the size of the news today on Celebration Television News Desk. But in case you're just joining us or you missed out on any of the news, here is our top stories again. Tribalism tearing the church apart, says cleric. Court reduces Showery's bail from 100 million naira to 50 million naira. From the international scene, Boeing 737 MAX crisis deepens, hitting shares. On business, Nigerians spend 2.4 trillion naira annually on vehicle imports. Lastly, in sport, Manchester City offers sterling £450,000 weekly to snub Real. The newscast will be ending here, but surely we continue using our social media handles: Facebook Celebration TV, Instagram My Celebration TV, Twitter @Celebration TV. Lastly, on YouTube, Celebration TV. I am Obozege Ruth, and many thanks for joining us. Do have a lovely Tuesday ahead. Goodbye.
To 50 13.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing AIM of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State governor